Good afternoon and welcome to the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Sports Complex here in Fort Lee, New Jersey. My name is Tommy Aquilina. We are just about set to get underway. The Fort Lee Bridgemen will be hosting the Paramus Catholic Paladins in a high school baseball matchup. Should be a good one. A little bit of a cool Friday evening. Not quite ideal baseball weather. Might be a little difficult for some of the outfielders to deal with fly balls or for players to deal with pop-ups today, but we should be in for a good one as Peter Kraljic's team looks to take on the Paramus Catholic Paladins. It's going to be a little public school, private school matchup. The Bridgemen will be looking to avenge a comeback loss to Paramus Catholic last year and also stay hot. The Bridgemen come into this one 6-3 on the season and 3-1 in the Big North American Division. That puts them in second place in division. They are 3-1, and Ridgefield Park is about a game ahead of them at 5-1. Meanwhile, Paramus Catholic looking to sort of turn things around a little bit. They are in their first year under new head coach Mario Lagonis Jr., a former Paladin, graduated class of 1999. And this year, he has the Paladins 4-6 on the season. Not terrible, but they are in last place in the Big North United Division, made up of some of the bigger name Catholic schools in North New Jersey. 1-5 in division. So again, they are in last place out of the 5 teams, and they are looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. Meanwhile, Fort Lee is looking to extend a 5-game winning streak. Warming up on the mound right now is number 6 for the Bridgemen. That is Max Greenberg. Doing the catching today will be Luke Senator. Senator number 1, Max Greenberg number 6. Max, the older brother of Jacob Greenberg, who is also in the starting lineup. He is in right field. Max looking to more than double his innings pitched output for the year. He's been one of the least used pitchers so far by Coach Peter Kraljik. Greenberg 1 inning pitched on the season, 1 strikeout, and a 0 ERA. And he will be on the mound for the Bridgemen. Like I said, Luke Senator will do the catching. And then looking at the rest of the defense, it is going to be number 16, Nico Sango, at first base. The freshman, number 9, Stefan Kim, at second base. Number 17, Jack Dorcom, at third base. And at shortstop will be number 8, Marcus Lee. Meanwhile, in the outfield, I mentioned Jacob Greenberg will be in right. CJ Senator, the younger brother of Luke, will be in center field. And in left field is going to be Jake Lee. And he is going to be hit for by Gabe Garcia. So we are just about underway, and Max Greenberg has a 1-1 count on the Paladins' leadoff hitter. That's number 24, Jason Hernandez. And Hernandez takes a pitch outside. Some changes being made to the lineup by Mario Lagonis Jr. Mentioned the Paladins are on a losing streak they're trying to snap. This one is going to go in foul territory, and it will land untouched. Looked like a few Bridgemen were in the area. No one was able to corral it, so we have a 2-2 count on Jason Hernandez. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive. Paramus Catholic wearing their road black uniforms. Fort Lee, the home team, wearing white as they should. Jason Hernandez has been one of PC's better hitters this year, a .346 batting average with no home runs and 8 RBI. Steps out and gets back in the box with a 2-2 count here. And Max Greenberg deals high. So first plate appearance of the game, and the count goes full. And that is going to be ball 4. So a walk to Jason Hernandez. With Hernandez on first, the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Greenberg's 0-1 also catches the corner, and so we have an 0-2 count on number 18, Daniel Espinal. Throw over to first. The Paladins yell for Hernandez to get back, and he does. And it'll be an 0-2 count again on Daniel Espinal, hitting .222 on the season with 5 RBI. Pitch is high, the throw down to second, they got him. Jason Hernandez cut down on a caught stealing, and there is one away. So it's a 1-2 count, and there is one out and nobody on. One-two is outside, and the count levels off at 2-2. Espinal hitting .222 on the season, no home runs and 5 RBI. Just getting it out of the way now, neither one of these teams has hit a home run yet this year. And that is cut on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Max Greenberg, and there are 2 away. Two outs and nobody on, and Max Greenberg deals outside. One-zero pitch, catches the zone, and so it is 1-1. That one is popped up, and the catch is going to be made by Stefan Kim. So the second baseman takes that pop-up with no problem. We have played 1/2 inning of ball, and we have a 0-0 game. We go to the bottom of the first inning here at the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Sports Complex. Tommy Aquilina back here with you on a chilly Friday afternoon in Fort Lee, New Jersey. On the mound for the Paladins is number 9, and I was told before the game that the starter was going to be number 2, Dalen Henriquez, but also that Coach Mario Lagonis was going to potentially make a few changes as he looks to help get his team out of a little bit of a rut that they've been in. Again, Paramus Catholic has lost 3 games in a row. They were swept in a back-to-back against their division rival Bergen Catholic, and then they lost at Garfield yesterday, and PC in those 3 games scored a grand total of 1 run. They are 1-4 on the road this season, as opposed to being 3-2 at home. So Fort Lee looking to stay hot and keep Paramus Catholic cold, and leading off for the Bridgemen is going to be the freshman phenom, Stefan Kim. He has been one of, if not the, best hitter for the Bridgemen so far this season, and he grounds the first pitch he sees foul. So it'll be an 0-1 count. Kim, one of 2 freshmen in the starting lineup today for Coach Peter Kraljic, CJ Senator being the other. That pitch is low and outside. So the count goes to 1-1. Another pitch low. Kim hitting .414 on the season. Mentioned that neither one of these teams has hit a home run yet, but Kim is tied for the team lead with 9 runs batted in so far this year. Swings and misses at that pitch, but 9 RBI in 9 games is a pretty good start for the freshman. Already atop the Bridgeman lineup here in the 10th game of the year. Here he's going to take a called strike 3, though. Looked like that pitch caught plenty of the plate. Kim goes down looking, and there is 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up number 1, Luke Senator. He has already thrown a runner out trying to steal so far today. And he takes a ball. The elder Senator, a sophomore, hitting .400 on the season with 7 runs batted in. He swings and misses there, so we have a 1-1 count. That pitch is low. Going to be Kim, Senator, and Dorcom for the Bridgemen here in the bottom of the first inning. And we have another swing and a miss there by Luke Senator. So the count levels off at 2-2. Coming into this game, Senator led the team with a .567 slugging percentage, hitting for plenty of power as he takes a pitch low and out of the zone. Slugging percentage, of course, being total bases divided by number of at-bats. If you're slugging over 500, you're doing something right, hitting for lots of power, even though, again, neither one of these teams has hit a home run yet this year. The payoff pitch to Luke Senator is swung on and missed. So a backwards K and then a forwards K, and there are 2 down for number 17, Jack Dorcom. Playing third base today, Dorcom hitting .286 on the season, no home runs, but tied for the team lead with 9 runs batted in. And he pops one up, and making the play on the outfield grass is going to be the Paramus Catholic second baseman. That's Espinal. So an F4 gets us out of here in the bottom of the first inning, a 1-2-3 inning for the Paladins, and after one inning of play, it is 0-0 here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Tommy Aquilina here with you in Fort Lee, New Jersey. Fort Lee and Paramus Catholic tied at 0 after one inning of play. That gives us a chance to thank our proud Fort Lee athletic sponsors, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, the Finest Construction Home Improvement Specialists, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, the Fort Lee Soccer Club, and Sedona Tap House. Thank you to our proud sponsors. Thank you for joining us here on a kind of dreary Friday afternoon. Fort Lee hosting Paramus Catholic, looking to avenge a loss to the Paladins last year, and also looking to extend their 5-game winning streak. Fort Lee beat Weehawken 13-6 back on April 9th, then defeated Ridgefield Park, giving them their only division loss of the season, beat Memorial 9-8 on April 13th, and then split a home-and-home series with Dumont, or rather swept a home-and-home series with Dumont. A big 7th-inning comeback on April 16th for an 8-7 victory over the Huskies, and then a 4-0 win on Wednesday. So Fort Lee looking to stay hot. Paramus Catholic looking to get something going offensively, and starting things off here in the top of the second inning will be number 12, Anthony Radis. Radis, the catcher and cleanup hitter today for the Paladins. And he grounds a ball past the third baseman, handling it at short, and making the play on the throw is Lee. Kind of a one-hopper over to first base, and Nico Sango picked it. One away. A really nice play right there by the shortstop, Marcus Lee, ranging to his right and making a strong enough throw. Again, Sango handling it on one hop. And for the Paladins, that brings up number 1, Josiah Rodriguez. Rodriguez takes a pitch outside, and the count goes to 2-0. Rodriguez looking for his first hit of the season. And that's not going to do it as he takes a called strike. 2-1 the count with Max Greenberg in his second inning of work, and he deals another strike. Count levels off at 2-2. Time is called, and now Greenberg and Rodriguez are both ready again. Ball is sent in the air, and handling it, battling the wind, is the center fielder, C.J. Senator. Ball played a little bit of a trick on him, and honestly was hit pretty deep. But Senator was there to make the play. That brings up the number 6 hitter, Roniel Medrano, for Paramus Catholic. He will hit with nobody on and 2 out, and he will take a ball. That pitch is low, so the count goes to 2-0. Max Greenberg getting some help from his defense here in the top of the second inning. A nice play at short by Marcus Lee and a nice pick by Nico Sango. And then CJ Senator making a nice grab out in center field. So there's nobody on with 2 outs, but the count is now 3-0 on Roniel Medrano, hitting .154 this season with a couple RBI. He would need to hit a home run here to pick up another one. And that's ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk to Medrano. Medrano will be the second base runner of the day for Paramus Catholic. Jason Hernandez led off the game with a walk, but then he was promptly caught stealing by the catcher Luke Senator. So a runner on first and 2 outs for number 21, Jeremy Balestas. Greenberg working out of the stretch, and he deals a strike. Balestas hitting .167 on the season with 1 RBI as Greenberg throws over. Not the best throw over, but Nico Sango handled it and kept the runner at first. There's a called strike, so quickly Greenberg ahead, 0-2, and Balestas calls time. Umpire explaining to him that he really can't call time. There have been some new rules adopted throughout various leagues across the country, with the idea being to quicken the pace of the game, and so players don't have as many timeouts to call as they used to. That throw over to first did get away from Sango, but he was able to corral it and prevent Medrano from going anywhere. The 0-2 pitch is outside, and Balestas didn't bite, so the count goes to 1-2. Pitch is low, runner is going, the throw was a good one, but could not be handled by Stefan Kim at second base. So a stolen base for Medrano. If Kim had caught that, he might have been able to get him, but the throw was also pretty high. He would have had to reach back across his body in order to get the runner there. A 2-out walk for Roniel Medrano, and then a stolen base leaves us with a runner on second and 2 outs here in the top of the second inning as Paramus Catholic is looking to take an early lead here. The Paladins have been outscored 52-47 in their 10 games so far this year. That's about a 5-5 tie. And yet they're 1-5 in division. It's a 2-2 count on Balestas, and after a meeting at the mound, Max Greenberg is ready. Checks the runner at second and delivers the 2-2. It is low. Count will go full. And Medrano will get a little bit of a head start here on the payoff pitch with 2 outs. Did he go? Yes, he did. A strikeout for Max Greenberg with a runner on second base. Balestas goes down on strikes, and we go to the bottom of the second inning. Still 0-0 here in Fort Lee. Tommy Aquilina back here with you at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Bottom of the second inning, Paramus Catholic and Fort Lee still tied at 0. And that is going to be a base hit for Nico Sango. So after a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning, Fort Lee has their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the second inning. It's a single for the first baseman, Nico Sango, and now he goes to a place he's very comfortable with, first base. Coming into that at-bat, Sango was hitting .267 with 8 runs batted in. And that brings up the right fielder and brother of the pitcher, Jacob Greenberg. Jacob takes a ball a little bit upstairs, 1-0. That pitch is outside, and the count goes to 2-0. Jacob Greenberg has been an effective pitcher so far for head coach Kraljic, and he also has been one of the Bridgman's better hitters. The Bridgman better hitters, I guess. And it looks like he's going to raise his batting average even more. No, the ball stayed up and was caught by the center fielder. That was number 24, Jason Hernandez, making the play. Greenberg got good metal on it, but the ball hung up in the air too long, and so there is 1 out and a runner on first base. Greenberg, with that out, will see his batting average dip below 400. That'll bring up number 8, Marcus Lee, and the Bridgman shortstop takes a strike. Line drive. Is that a fair or foul ball? It is a foul ball. Just barely missed going over the third base bag. That could have been extra bases for Lee. He enters this game hitting .310 on the season with 3 runs batted in and 7 runs scored. 0-2 the count, and the Paladin pitcher steps off. So we have a brief time. One on, one out, and Gabe Garcia on deck for the Bridgman. Called strike 3. The outside corner was clipped, and Marcus Lee goes down looking. Third strikeout out of the first 6 Bridgman batters, 2 of them looking. And that'll bring up Gabriel Garcia. He is hitting for the left fielder, Jake Lee. Garcia hitting .222 on the season with a couple RBI. And he takes a pitch a little upstairs. Garcia has also done a fair amount of pitching this year for Fort Lee. He is the DH this afternoon, hitting 7th and tipping a ball foul. 1-1 the count. Nico Sango, not a big base running threat. He does have 1 stolen base on the season. And he goes back on the throw over. Another throw over. Sango gets back once again. Count remains 1-1 to the junior, Gabe Garcia. That pitch is inside, and so the count goes to 2-1. When he's not on the mound or DHing, Gabe Garcia has been an infielder for head coach Kraljic. Not playing in the field today. In high school, you are allowed to hit for one of your position players. And with Max Greenberg in the starting lineup and actually on deck right now, Garcia gets to DH and Jake Lee does not get to bat. After the foul ball, it is a 2-2 count with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Bottom of the second inning. Grounded to short. They go the short way. That was number 27, Raniel Medrano, getting the assist there as he gets the force out at second base. Daniel Espinal playing second for the Paladins. It's a 6-4 force play, and we are through 2 innings, still scoreless here in Fort Lee. We are back in action for the third inning here in Fort Lee. Tommy Aquilina, thanking you so much for joining us here on a Friday afternoon. As Usher said, thank God the week is done. I feel like a zombie gone back to life. Paramus Catholic trying to get some life into their bats. They've scored 1 run in the past 3 games, all losses, and they've been held off the board for the first 2 innings today as well. It is a 1-1 count on the number 8 hitter and first baseman, Garrett Krall. And Greenberg bounces one. Krall hitting .222 on the season with 3 runs batted in. A left-handed batter who fouls that one off, leveling the count at 2-2. Max Greenberg with a couple scoreless innings. He will lead off for Fort Lee in the bottom of the third inning. Is that called strike 3? Yes, it is. Max Greenberg clips the inside corner and gets Krall looking. Third strikeout for Greenberg. And that will bring up the number 9 hitter for the Paladins, Marcus Nesci. And Nesci takes a pitch outside. Number 3, Marcus Nesci, hitting .190 on the season with 3 RBI, and he takes a pitch at the knees for a strike. 1-1. Shows bunt, takes a pitch low. 2-1 the count. And then the leadoff hitter, Jason Hernandez, is on deck as that pitch clips the outside corner. 2-2 the count as Max Greenberg looks for his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Delivers a pitch low, and so the count goes full at 3-2 here with 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. Max Greenberg working quickly, Neshi popping it up and fouling it off. We'll do the 3-2 pitch again. Here it comes from Greenberg, and it's a ground ball to short, and it goes through the legs of Marcus Lee. That is going to be an E6, allowing Neshi to reach. Lee has already made a good play for the Bridgeman. That one went right through the wickets. Classic error. And so the Paladins have a man on first with 1 away here in the top of the 3rd inning. And that'll bring up their leadoff hitter, Jason Hernandez. Working out of the stretch, Greenberg deals low. Hernandez hitting .346 on the season. He is among Paramus Catholic's leaders with 8 RBI, and he led off this game with a walk. Called strike there. Hernandez thought it was low, but it's 1-1, and Hernandez gets the signs from his third base coach. Greenberg throws over, but Neshi gets back. He does not have a stolen base on the year, as that pitch is taken for a ball. 2-1 the count, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Greenberg gets the sign and throws over to first again. Hernandez led off the game with a walk, but he was quickly caught stealing, and Paramus Catholic didn't do anything else in the 1st inning. Hernandez fouls that one off, and so Greenberg is not a strike away from getting out of it. There's only 1 out because of the error by Lee. 1 on, 1 out, and a 2-2 count to Hernandez, who grounds this one to second base. Really nicely done right there by the Fort Lee second baseman, Stefan Kim. Handled it himself. That is a 4-4-3 double play, and it gets Max Greenberg out of the 3rd inning. 3 scoreless for the younger Greenberg brother. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Max Greenberg will lead off for the Bridgeman. Tommy Aquilina back here with you at the Sugarman Sport Complex here in Fort Lee, New Jersey. The Fort Lee Bridgemen tied at 0 with the Paramus Catholic Paladins. The pitcher, Max Greenberg, will lead off for the Bridgemen here in the 3rd inning, and then it will be C.J. Senator, and then back to the top of the lineup with Stefan Kim. Fort Lee enjoying a nice start to the season after going 6-17 last year. They have gotten off to a 6-3 start here in the 2024 campaign. And at 3-1, the Bridgemen have already matched their in-division win total from all of last year. They've also done a great job protecting their home turf. Fort Lee is 3-0 at home this season, looking to make it a perfect 4-0, and then they will also be here tomorrow morning against Ridgefield. Max Greenberg trying to help himself out, and he lofts this one to left. That's going to be an F7 flyout for the Fort Lee pitcher. So the younger, or rather the older, Greenberg brother is retired, and that will bring up the younger Senator brother, C.J. Senator, steps up to the plate. He's made a nice play in center field. He is the number 9 batter, and he is also looking for his first hit of the season, and he fouls that one off. The freshman has been used for his speed this season. He has 1 stolen base and 3 runs, but he is still looking for his first hit, and he's got it right there, just past the diving third baseman and into right field. A single for C.J. Senator. He is now 1 for 7 on the season, and that batting average is going to bump all the way up from 0 to 143. That will bring up Stefan Kim, who entered this game hitting over 400. Tied for the team lead with 9 RBI. Now he's got the speedy Senator on first base, and immediately a throw over to check on C.J. Senator. Mentioned he has 1 stolen base on the season, despite not getting on base very much in the early going. Kim struck out looking his first time up. That is a called ball, so the count goes to 1-0. Kim making a nice defensive play to help bail out his shortstop in the top of the 3rd inning on the 4-4-6 inning-ending double play. And now he takes a pitch low, so the count goes to 2-0. The freshman Senator leading off of first base, and the freshman Kim in the box right now with a hitter's count at 2-0. We have another throw over. Again, Garrett Krall, the first baseman for Paramus Catholic. Called strike makes it a 2-1 count on Kim. Swings and misses at what I believe was an off-speed pitch, and so the count levels off at 2-2. That one is hit in the air to center field. Hernandez barely has to move, only took about 2 steps back, and there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Hernandez playing Kim perfectly, straight away and slightly deep center field. With 2 outs and C.J. Senator on first base, Luke Senator steps up to the plate. C.J. Senator is going, and he is out at second base. Thrown out by the catcher, Anthony Radis, and that will end the 3rd inning. We've played 3 full innings here at the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Sports Complex. The score is Paramus Catholic 0, Fort Lee 0. Be right back. Tommy Aquilina back here with you for the 4th inning. A little bit of a pitcher's duel going on here, as Max Greenberg has tossed 3 scoreless frames. He has struck out 3, and he is going to deal with the 2-3-4 hitters in the Paramus Catholic lineup. Not much going right now for PC. Mario Lagones Jr. is in his first year as the head coach of his alma mater. Last year, the Paladins went 7-16 and 0-8 in division under Paul Magrini. They did make the NJSIAA tournament. They had a pretty strong strength of schedule, and they lost in the first round of the non-public phase of the tournament to Pope John. After beating Patterson-Kennedy 13-0 back on April 13th, Paramus Catholic has lost 3 games in a row, and again, they've scored 1 run in those 3 games. Also held off the board through 3 innings today. As a matter of fact, they're getting no hit by Max Greenberg. He has walked 2 batters, but PC does not yet have a hit. Max Greenberg's first pitch of the 4th inning is grounded to Nico Sango. He will handle it himself, and Daniel Espinal is retired. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter for the Paladins. Popped up to second base to end the top of the 1st inning. Nobody on, nobody out, and Greenberg's first pitch is fouled off. Called strike at the knees, and it's an 0-2 count. One of Paramus Catholic's 7 wins last year did come at home against Fort Lee. The Bridgemen are trying to avenge that loss, and to that end, Max Greenberg gets a called strike 3. A little bit of sloppiness from the Fort Lee infielders when they throw the ball around, but it is the 4th strikeout of the day for Max Greenberg. Half of those 4 strikeouts have been looking, and that brings up the catcher and cleanup hitter, Anthony Radis. He threw out C.J. Senator attempting to steal in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That ended the frame, and now Radis steps up to the plate. He grounded out in the top of the 2nd inning. He pops this one up. Marcus Lee going back, couple of infielders coming in, and Marcus Lee makes the play, ending the top of the 4th inning. Paramus Catholic still does not have a hit. We go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 0. I missed out on my chance to say it when the top of the fourth inning ended, so want to get in there. We are halfway through this one. Remember, high school baseball goes 7 innings, so with 3.5 innings in the books, we are halfway through this one, assuming someone eventually scores a run. PC and Fort Lee tied at 0. Tommy Aquilina joining you for the bottom half of the fourth inning. Luke Senator is still up there because he was at bat when his brother was caught stealing. So he gets a fresh count. It's actually a 1-0 count now. Senator struck out swinging back in the first inning. Now he leads off the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Senator, Dorcom, and Sango for the Bridgemen. Fort Lee scoring 62 runs in their first 9 games of the year. That's about 7 runs a game, but they have been held off the board through 3 innings so far today, and it's now a 2-1 count on the elder Senator brother. Popped up, shortstop going back, right fielder coming in, and making the play is the Paramus Catholic right fielder. So 1 away, and that will bring up Dorcom. Paramus Catholic right fielder number 23 making that play. So it's an F9 if you're keeping score at home. And Jack Dorcom takes inside. Dorcom popped out to second base back in the first inning, so he is 0 for 1, and he grounds this one foul down the third baseline. It'll be a 1-1 count with Nico Sango on deck. He has one of the 2 hits for the Bridgemen. CJ Senator's single was the other one. That pitch is in the dirt, and the count will go to 2-1 on the sophomore, Jack Dorcom. Swing and a miss, and the count levels off at 2-2. Dorcom has done a decent amount of pitching this year for head coach Kraljic, but today he is at the hot corner and hitting third. Chopped to short. Strong throw over to first base. Nice stretch by the first baseman, and Dorcom is retired. That was Raniel Medrano handling that play very nicely at shortstop, and there are 2 gone and no one on for Nico Sango. The first baseman singled his first time up and did not go anywhere. First pitch to Sango is high. The sophomore, number 16, awaits the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. So again, Fort Lee has 2 hits and also 1 error defensively. Paramus Catholic looking for their first hit of the game. Sango grounds this one very weakly to first base. Krall will retire his first base counterpart, and we have played 4 innings here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. We still don't have a run. Stay tuned, because one has to be coming sooner or later. Tommy Aquilina saying hello again from Fort Lee. Max Greenberg back out there for a fifth inning of work. He has not allowed a hit, and he has struck out 4 through 4 innings. He's given out a couple walks. One of them was cut down on a caught stealing by his catcher, Luke Senator, and then the other one was erased on a double play, nicely turned by Stefan Kim at second base. So we've played 4 here at the Sugarman Sport Complex. 0-0 between 4 and 6 Paramus Catholic and 6 and 3 Fort Lee. The Bridgemen did get off to a rough start. They lost 3 of their first 4 games this year, but since then, they have won 5 in a row. They've had multiple comeback victories, and they average nearly 7 runs per game. Today, they've been held scoreless through 4. That pitch is popped up and fouled away by Josiah Rodriguez. Rodriguez flied out to center field his first time up. Nice play by CJ Senator, battling the wind. Also not easy with a light gray sky to make out the baseball. Someone's going to have to hear as Rodriguez pops that one up. Marcus Lee going out, calling off the outfielders, and making the play. That is going to get scored an F6, and there is one away. That'll bring up Jeremy Balestas. He struck out swinging his first time up. Or no, I lied. It is Raniel Medrano hitting. Balestas is on deck. Balestas did strike out his first time up. That was after Medrano walked and stole second base. He taps this one to short. Lee coming in, hopping and throwing, and making the play. Marcus Lee definitely did not need to leave his feet like he did to make that throw, but he registers a good, solid throw over to first base anyway. 6-3 is how that play goes, and there's 2 outs and nobody on. Medrano is 0 for 1, and now Balestas will waltz to the plate. One of 4 strikeout victims of Max Greenberg, and he takes a pitch inside here. Swung right over the top of that one, so it's 1-1. Garrett Krall on deck for PC. Popped up and it hits the top of the cage. That makes it an automatic dead ball. If theoretically the ball were to hit the top of the cage and come back down and Senator were to come out and catch it or something, that would not count. So it's a foul ball and a 1-2 count. Greenberg deals. Cold strike 3. 5th strikeout of the afternoon for Max Greenberg. He has struck out 5 and not allowed a hit through 5 scoreless innings. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Fort Lee will look to give their pitcher some help. We are back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Paramus Catholic and Fort Lee still scoreless. I'm Tommy Aquilina, a little bit surprised at the low-scoring nature of this game, but the Paladin pitcher as well as Max Greenberg have both absolutely been dealing. Greenberg has walked 2, and that's it. And Fort Lee has 2 hits, both singles, and that's it. One of those singles was by C.J. Senator, and he was caught stealing to end the inning. Fort Lee has not had a base runner in scoring position so far today. Tapping that one foul is Jacob Greenberg, the younger brother of Max Greenberg. Max the junior, Jacob the sophomore, and Jacob hitting 5th and playing right field today. He is 0 for 1. Fly ball, shallow left field, and the play is made. That is an F7. As number 3, Marcus Neshi came on to make the easy play. So an F8 and an F7 for Jacob Greenberg. A fly out to center and a fly out to left. That is a called strike on Marcus Lee. Ball dropping right into the strike zone, according to the umpire. And now another one. Pretty big breaking pitch there. It's an 0-2 count on Marcus Lee. The shortstop struck out looking his first time up, and now he's already behind in the count 0-2, and he watches that pitch not even make it all the way to the plate. Gabe Garcia, the DH, is on deck. A 1-2 count on Marcus Lee, who has had an active day defensively. Made a nice play on a ball that got by Dorcom at third base. He also did commit an error, but no harm, no foul. Neither team is on the board. It's a 1-2 count. This pitch is lofted into shallow center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Turf field, bounces like that can be dangerous, but Jason Hernandez did not let the ball get by him. So it's a single for Marcus Lee, and now Fort Lee can try to make something happen. They have a runner on first with 1 out. And the batter due up is number 13, Gabe Garcia. DHing for the left fielder Jake Lee. Garcia grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice, his first time up. Now hitting with a runner on first, that runner Lee is chased back on a throw over. Scoreless game here in the bottom of the 5th inning, so every base runner counts and is very important. Pitch is high, as Garcia was showing bunt. With 1 out, I don't really think the play is to bunt here. He pulled the bunt back, so it was a ball, and it's a 1-0 count. And it's a 1-1 count after that foul ball. Marcus Lee with a 1-out single, blooped it in front of the center fielder Hernandez. Now Garcia hitting, and then Max Greenberg is on deck. Going to try to help himself out since his offense has done so little for him so far this afternoon. Maybe Garcia can change that. Pitch is not just inside, it hit him. So Max Greenberg will step up to the plate with 2 runners on and 1 out. 3 singles and a hit by pitch now for the Bridgman lineup. And it is, in fact, going to be the pitcher, Max Greenberg, taking some swings here. Max is 0 for 1. Fort Lee has a runner in scoring position for the first time today. They actually have a couple men aboard. And the first pitch is dropped in there for a strike. After a look back at second, the 0-1 pitch is a called strike at the knees. Max Greenberg did not love that call, but if he was on the mound, he would have. So he just says okay and gets back in the box. It's 0-2. He's got to protect now. And that's exactly what he does. Kind of throws the bat head at that pitch and fouls it away. Fort Lee looking for a 6th consecutive victory. They're going to need to score at least 1 run if they want to get that victory over a Paramus Catholic team that has admittedly been having a difficult time scoring runs themselves. Another foul ball. So important for Paramus Catholic not to fall behind. They've scored 1 run in their last 3 games. They don't have a hit today, so every run is vital. That pitch was close. Umpire thought it was a little upstairs, so it's a 1-2 count. Grounded in between the shortstop and the third baseman for a base hit. They are sending the runner, and he will score. Bad throw. Garcia stays at second base, but Max Greenberg, who has thrown 5 scoreless innings today, picks up the RBI single. Talk about doing it all. Max Greenberg gives Fort Lee the 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. An aggressive send right there of the runner on second base. But Marcus Lee motored around third and scored. Now it's CJ Senator looking to extend the lead for the Bridgemen. He drops a bunt. It is a beauty. And it is a base hit. CJ Senator is 2 for 2, and the Bridgemen have loaded the bases here with 1 out in the 5th inning. A 1-out single by Marcus Lee. Gabe Garcia was hit by a pitch, and then Max Greenberg, the starter today on the mound for Fort Lee with the RBI single, followed up by a bunt single by CJ Senator. So Fort Lee has a 1-run lead. They have the bases loaded, and they have Paramus Catholic on the ropes. We have a meeting on the mound. I'm not sure if we're going to have a pitching change or not. But irregardless of who is pitching for the Paladins, it will be the freshman phenom, Stefan Kim, hitting for the Bridgemen. No pitching change. Kim is 0 for 2. He is tied for the team lead with 9 RBI. He can take over that lead by reaching base here. First, he's going to call time. Let the pitcher think about it a little bit more. Going from the full windup and dealing outside to Stefan Kim. Radis goes out and has a brief chat with his much shorter pitcher. Of course, there is nowhere to put Kim. Called strike, makes it a 1-1 count. Kim did not love that call. 1-1 the count with Garcia at third, Greenberg at first, and Greenberg at second, and Senator at first. It's a ball, and so we have a 2-1 count on Kim. Flied out to center field his last time up. If he hits the ball to the same spot, that would probably bring in a second run for the Bridgman. And now he's in the driver's seat as the count goes to 3-1. Again, no place to put him. Gotta come right after him. And oh yeah, Stefan Kim was hitting over 400 on the season coming into this game. Ground ball, right back to the pitcher. They go home for the force. They go to first for the double play, and they get it. Wow, wow, wow. Some good defense gets Paramus Catholic out of a really tough jam. It's a 1-2-3 double play. Gotta love those. But Fort Lee does score a run before loading the bases. It's an RBI single for Max Greenberg. Do stay tuned to see if Greenberg retakes the mound for the top of the 6th inning. We'll be right back. Tommy Aquilina welcoming you back into the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Sports Complex. We go to the 6th inning. Fort Lee finally has the lead. Max Greenberg helping out his own cause with an RBI single in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now Greenberg will go back to work. Paramus Catholic trailing for the first time today. But before they can try to get a run, they have to try to get a hit. They don't have one yet. That first pitch is a ball. Tough hop. Marcus Lee handles it, throws over to first, and gets him. One away here in the top of the 6th inning. 6-3 is how you score that. Marcus Lee has played some solid defense today. He did make the most basic of errors by letting a ball go through his legs earlier, but other than that, he has been solid at short for the Bridgman. Makes that play. That is Crawl, grounding out 6-3. And now we have Neshi grounding a ball foul. Neshi was the one who reached on that E6 his first time up. Show's bunt takes low. Count goes to 1-1. For Paramus Catholic, zeros across the board on the line score. No runs, no hits, no errors. They had one man reach on an error and 2 reach on walks. That's a called strike. Neshi did not love the call, but he's going to have to deal with it. And it's a 1-2 count here with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Hernandez walked to lead off the game and was promptly caught stealing. Medrano walked and stole a base, so Paramus Catholic has gotten a runner in scoring position, but Medrano only got to second base. It's a 2-2 count. Max Greenberg still working quickly, and he deals low. So the count goes full on Marcus Neshi, the left fielder today for PC. Here is Greenberg's payoff pitch, and he's going to have to throw another one, as that's a foul ball. Neshi looking to start a rally, and then things will go back to the top of the order with Jason Hernandez. Lined. Foul. That ball might have only been a couple inches away from breaking up what could be something special that Max Greenberg has going here. Again, he has not allowed a hit through 5 1/3 innings. And now you can start to focus on that a little bit more with Fort Lee having the lead. A third payoff pitch and a third foul ball. It was huge. I mentioned every run is big for Paramus Catholic. Very big for them to keep it a one-run game by getting the talented leadoff hitter Stefan Kim to bang into a 1-2-3 double play. That pitch is low. Max Greenberg has given out his third walk of the afternoon, and that will flip things over to the top of the lineup. Hernandez hit into a 4-4-6 double play himself, and because of the walk, he is just 0 for 1. Luke Senator has a brief chat with his catcher Senator with a chat with his pitcher before Greenberg has to face the PC lineup for a third time. 3 walks and no hits allowed the first 2 times through the order as he throws over to first to check on Neshi. Pitch is low, gets by Senator. That's going to be a wild pitch, allowing Neshi to go to second base. Greenberg not looking quite as sharp as we go a little deeper into the 6th inning here. It'll be a 1-0 count. And that pitch also gets away from Senator, but not far enough away for Neshi to advance. So he remains at second base. The tying run is in scoring position for PC, and it's a 2-0 count on Jason Hernandez. He is among the team leaders with 8 RBI this year, and now he's ahead in the count 3-0, so realistically, he should probably be taking a strike here. He's actually going to take a ball, so that's a 4-pitch walk handed out by Max Greenberg. He has walked back-to-back batters, and he might be running out of gas a little bit here. A couple of one-out walks for Paramus Catholic. A rally of sorts as they have runners on first and second with 1 away. Good speed on the bases in Neshi and Hernandez, and the batter is going to be Daniel Espinal. The second baseman is 0 for 2 with a strikeout today. And after hitting from the left side his first 2 times up, he is going to switch over to the right side. Espinal, a switch hitter, choosing to hit from the right side against the right-handed thrower, Greenberg. Interesting choice here for Espinal. He took a ball, so it's a 1-0 count. And now he grounds this one up the middle. Lee dove but couldn't get for it. They are going to send Neshi. The throw is not in time, and we are tied at 1. That throw also allowed Hernandez to go to third and Espinal to go to second. It's an RBI single for Daniel Espinal, and Paramus Catholic, on their first hit of the game here in the 6th inning, ties it at 1. And now we will have a pitching change. So we'll wait to see if any more runs get scored. The 2 runners on base are the responsibility of Max Greenberg. But he goes 5 1/3 innings and gives way to number 17, Jack Dorcom. So Dorcom will go from third base to the mound, and Gabe Garcia will take over at third base. I mentioned that he plays a lot in the infield for Coach Kraljic, and he's going to do so here. So we'll see what that means for the lineup. Garcia was DHing for the left fielder, Jake Lee. Now we still have Lee in left. Dorcom on the mound. Gabe Garcia at third base. Jack Dorcom, the sophomore, I mentioned earlier that he's pitched quite a bit for Fort Lee. Coming into this one, Max Greenberg had only thrown 1 inning. Dorcom had thrown 8, but the results have not been phenomenal. He has 11 strikeouts, but also an elevated 6.12 ERA. And remember, that ERA is adjusted. They play 7 innings in high school, so he gives up a little more than 6 earned runs per 7 innings, not per 9. Dorcom will inherit a pickle, runners on second and third, with 1 away in a tie game, and he's dealing with the leadoff hitter. Not the leadoff hitter, the number 3 hitter for Paramus Catholic. And he fouls this one away. Sango gave it a look, but was unable to get it. Number 23 for Paramus Catholic is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Dorcom's 0-1 pitch is lined. Lee was unable to make the play. That is going to be an RBI single, and advancing to third will be Hernandez. Paramus Catholic, after being held hitless for 5 innings, takes a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 6th. That'll bring up Anthony Radis. The catcher takes a strike right down the middle. So Neshi and Hernandez have scored this inning. Right now it's Espinal on third base. Runners on the corners with 1 away, and Paramus Catholic now leading 2-1. Luke Senator comes out from behind the plate and gives his team some signs. I would imagine Fort Lee would let second base get stolen. Runner was not going, and the pitch was cut on and missed by Radis, so it is a 1-2 count. Now that double play to get out of a bases-loaded 1-out jam in the bottom of the 5th inning looms even larger than we thought it did. A little bit of a delayed steal there. Home plate umpire is coming out. Let's see. Looks like it wasn't a delayed steal, or whatever it was, Dorcom balked. It looks like that is going to be the call. So it's going to be a balk, no stolen base, but it allows the runner to go from first to second and from third to home. So it is a run-scoring balk by Dorcom, and Paramus Catholic has a 3-1 lead. Still a 1-2 count on Radis. Runner on second with 1 out now, and Dorcom deals, fouled off by Radis. No hits in the first 5 innings for Paramus Catholic. They have scored 3 runs here in the top of the 6th, and they're looking for more. Remember, last year, Paramus Catholic beat Fort Lee in comeback fashion at home. This would be a comeback win. Lofted into shallow center. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. CJ Senator plays the hop, and PC now has runners on first and third with 1 away. That brings up Josiah Rodriguez. The number 5 hitter is 0 for 2, but PC has had a lot of success here the third time through the order. Strike called at the knees. Coach Kraljic has brought his infield in about halfway as Rodriguez swings and misses. Count goes to 0-2. Runners on the corners with 1 out, and PC leading by 2. The 0-2 pitch is inside. Second base will be stolen by Radis, and it is a stolen base. PC now has runners on second and third. No throw to prevent the runner at third from moving. Also, that wasn't Radis, but a pinch runner for the catcher. Is that called strike 3? Yes, it is. So Dorcom picks up the backwards K. Rodriguez is 0 for 3, and there are 2 outs, but the job is not finished. Still 2 men in scoring position, now with 2 outs for Raniel Medrano. Medrano is 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base. He has 2 RBI on the season, and a hit here would probably double that total as he fouls the first pitch away. Another foul ball, 0-2. The runner at second base is getting a gigantic lead. There's nowhere for him to go, as there's also a runner on third base. Distracting Dorcom on the mound. He steps off, didn't balk that time, and is now ready to deliver the 0-2 pitch. Inside. Lined over the head of the third baseman. 2 runs will score, and Paramus Catholic takes a 5-1 lead. Medrano does, in fact, double his RBI total on the season. Yeah, I thought that was a new hitter. Yeah, the umpire calls time. We have a pinch hitter here for Jeremy Balestas. He struck out each of his first 2 times up, and he is now being pinch hit for by number 11, Matthew Allegria. So it's a 1-0 count on Allegria, hitting .222 on the season with no RBI. Runner at first, 2 outs, and that pitch went behind Allegria but hit his bat. Gotta hate when that happens. That's a foul ball. So after the strange foul ball, it is a 1-1 count on Allegria. Fouls that pitch away, so it's a 1-2 count. Number 11, Allegria, pinch hitting for 21, Balestas. It should not necessitate a defensive change because Balestas was the DH. That pitch is low and outside. Senator fakes a throw over to first base, and the count levels off at 2-2. Dorcom has come on and allowed both inherited runners to score. He's also given up a couple runs of his own, and now he deals high. So it's going to be a full count to Allegria, and that should give the runner at first base, Medrano, a little bit of a head start. He already has 1 stolen base today. The payoff pitch is high. That's ball 4, so a pinch hit walk for Allegria. And now we're going to have 2 on and 2 out. And it's Garrett Krall's spot in the order coming up. And Krall is going to be pinch hit for as well. Looks like this is number 17 for Paramus Catholic. 2 on, 2 out, and that pitch is a ball. Another ball, so a 2-0 count. Neither Greenberg nor Dorcom has been, as that pitch is fouled away. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. They've both been wild, let's put it that way, here in the 6th inning. Greenberg might have just run out of gas. Dorcom has come in and struggled. And a 1-1 game is now a 5-1 game. That pitch is tapped foul, so it'll go to 1-2. Max Greenberg going to wind up going 5 1/3 innings and giving up 3 earned runs. He is on the hook for the loss if Fort Lee can't come back in this one. He pitched so well the first 5 innings, got a lead, and immediately gave it back. Came out with 2 runners on, and Dorcom has allowed those 2 runners and 2 others to score. It's a 2-2 count, 2 outs, and that pitch is swung on and missed. So Dorcom ends the inning with a strikeout, but the damage has been done. A 5-run 6th inning for Paramus Catholic, and now the Bridgman offense has some work to do. Don't go anywhere. Tommy Aquilina back here with you in the bottom of the 6th inning. A pretty improbable rally for Paramus Catholic in the top of the inning. They were shut out in back-to-back games against Paramus Catholic. No, I lied. They are Paramus Catholic. They were shut out in back-to-back games against Bergen Catholic. Then they lost at Garfield yesterday 3-1. They were held hitless by Max Greenberg in the first 5 innings today. And then they break out with a 5-run 6th inning to take a 5-1 lead. Now Fort Lee has 2 innings to put at least 4 runs on the board, or else their 6-game winning streak, or their 5-game winning streak, I should say, will come to an end. PC looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. Their starter is still on the mound, and Luke Senator is leading off for the Bridgemen. And he takes a strike. Senator is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Taps that pitch foul. A really phenomenal opportunity for Fort Lee to step on the throats of a Paladins team that has been unable to do anything offensively for about a week. Bases loaded, 1 out, and a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Stefan Kim banged into a 1-2-3 double play. Senator slaps that one into left field for a base hit. Into right field, I should say, for a base hit. So Senator goes the other way. He has his first hit of the afternoon, and Fort Lee going to try to rally now. Jack Dorcom steps up to the plate. Started the game at third base. He was the first guy on in relief of Max Greenberg. Did not do a great job, but now he can turn the tide a little bit offensively. The single by Luke Senator was the 5th hit of the game for Fort Lee. His brother CJ has 2 of them. That's a fair ball, and they're just going to take the out at first base. So score that 5-3, new first baseman for Paramus Catholic. That was the pinch hitter for Crawl. Senator does advance to second base. That brings up Nico Sango with a runner on second and 1 away. Sango is 1 for 2. Swinging at the first pitch and hitting it foul. Sango with 8 RBI on the season. He grounds this one to short. Medrano throws Sango out. Score that 6-3. Luke Senator does advance to third base. That will bring up Jacob Greenberg's spot in the order. And it is going to be Greenberg hitting for the 3rd time today. He's 0 for 2. And he takes strike 1. Taps that one just foul. Diving play made by Rodriguez, but it didn't matter because it was foul. The 0-2, upstairs. if you're Fort Lee, that's a big run at third base. You want to at least get to within 3 heading into the last inning. Sent out into center field. Backing up is Hernandez, and he makes the play. So the leadoff single by Luke Senator is wasted, and we will go to the 7th inning with the Paladins leading the Bridgemen 5-1. Tommy Aquilina back here with you at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Weather actually getting nicer the later into the day as we go. It's a little after 6 o'clock, and this is about as nice as it's been since we started this one at 4:20. New pitcher on the mound for Fort Lee. It's number 2, Jake Lee. He was in left field, getting pinch hit for, getting DH'd for, really, by Gabe Garcia. So Lee comes in from left, takes over on the mound, and the Fort Lee starter, Max Greenberg, is now in left field. It looks like the new third baseman for Fort Lee is not Dorcom. They did not put him back at the hot corner. Looks like they're going with number 12, Bradley Lee. Here we have a foul ball by a pinch hitter. It's number 5, Marco Roig. And Roig is hitting for Neshi. He walked and scored to get that rally started in the 6th inning for Paramus Catholic. And now Roig gets himself a hit, makes a big turn, and does head back to first base. CJ Senator held him to a single, but it is a leadoff single for Marco Roig, who came into this game hitting a perfect 1,000 on the year, and he maintains that perfect batting average. Not easy to come off the bench as a pinch hitter, but Roig has been perfect at it this year, and he now leads off of first base with Jason Hernandez at the plate. Hernandez takes low. He is 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. And that run obviously came last inning as Paramus Catholic rallied for 5 after scoring 1 run in their previous 3 losses, plus the first 5 innings today. It's now a 5-1 lead for Paramus Catholic. They are looking to add to it. Hernandez takes low. Senator throws to first base. And his right fielder was there to back him up. That's Jacob Greenberg. So no error to Senator, no advancement by the base runner Roig. He remains at first, and it is a 1-1 count on Hernandez. Popped up. Marcus Lee backing up and making the play on the outfield turf. So Hernandez is 0 for 2, and there is one away. That'll bring up Daniel Espinal, who has had himself a solid day for Paramus Catholic. Pops this one up. Marcus Lee makes just about the same play, except he was only a step or two out of the infield this time. Espinal with an RBI single last inning. He pops out to short this time, so he is 1 for 4. And now the number 3 hitter is up for the Paladins. Down in the count 0-1. He is 1 for 3 with an RBI. That pitch is low, and the count goes to 1-1. With a runner on first and 2 gone here in the top of the 7th inning. That is a called strike, making it a 1-2 count. Dropped in there, but a little too far inside, I believe. So that's ball 2. A 2-2 count with a runner on first. Jake Lee deals, and we have a foul ball. Lee played left field for the first 6 innings. Now taking the mound here in the 7th inning, looking to toss a scoreless frame. Ground ball to short. Lee over to his right. Lee did not get him. That'll be an infield single as Nico Sango could not make the stretch. So with runners on first and second and 2 away, that will bring up Anthony Radis. The catcher is 1 for 3. And then he was pinch run for last inning after reaching on his single. He fouls this one off the cage. After a long pause, Lee deals, and we have another foul ball. So that will send the count to 0-2. Paramus Catholic leading this one 5-1. After scoring 5 runs last inning, they are looking to add to their 4-run cushion, and they just might. This one is slapped into center field for a base hit. Senator will not even throw home. The throw really just went to Sango at first base. It is an RBI single for Radis, and it's a 6-1 Paramus Catholic lead. That brings up Josiah Rodriguez. Runners on first and second with 2 out in a 5-run game for the Paladins. A win would see Paramus Catholic improve to 5-6 on the year and snap their 3-game losing streak. And then tomorrow, both of these teams are actually going to be in action at 11 a.m. PC will be hosting Westwood, and Fort Lee will be back here again. I'll be on the call, actually, for the Fort Lee Ridgefield game. Again, that's at 11 o'clock. It is a 2-1 count on Josiah Rodriguez. And now it's a 3-1 count. Fort Lee looking to stay perfect at home and extend their 5-game winning streak, but if they want to do that, they're going to have their work cut out for them in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch is high, and we're going to have a double steal. No, we're not, because it was ball 4. The runner at second base was going, but it didn't matter because Rodriguez walked. So he is now 0 for 3 with a base on balls, and Paramus Catholic can really break this game open here in the top of the 7th inning. The bases are loaded with 2 away. The big moment in this game might just wind up being the inning-ending double play that Stefan Kim banged into with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning. Fort Lee was trying to extend their 1-0 lead. They were unable to, and now Paramus Catholic has blitzed them in the 6th and 7th innings. Lee deals low. He had been ahead in the count, so now it is a 1-1 count to Raniel Medrano. Medrano is 1 for 2 with a walk and 2 RBI. He has doubled his ribby total on the season from 2 to 4, and he's hitting with the bases loaded now. Grounds it to short. Lee will take the force out at second base, and that will end the top of the 7th inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and if Fort Lee can make a comeback in this one, that would be a big deal, so stay tuned for that. Tommy Aquilina back with you at the Sugarman Sport Complex. Head coach Mario Lagonis Jr. putting his starter back out there on the mound. He threw the first 5 innings, did not pitch in the 6th inning, but must have still been in the game defensively because he is back on the mound for the bottom of the 7th inning, and he will look to close this one out and finish up what would be a victory for him. He is the pitcher of record. That 1-2-3 double play in the bottom of the 5th inning, so huge, allowing Paramus Catholic to score 6 unanswered runs and take a 6-1 lead. It's going to be, I believe, Lee, Garcia, and Greenberg for Fort Lee. Marcus Lee lines it right back at the pitcher. Did he catch that? He did. Oh my goodness. Look what I found indeed. The pitchers today have really helped themselves out. Max Greenberg has driven in the only run so far today for Fort Lee, and some phenomenal defense being played by the Paladin hurler. And with one away, that brings up Jake Lee. Gabe Garcia took over defensively when Dorcom took the mound, so Fort Lee gave up their DH spot, and it is now Jake Lee hitting. And it's Jake Lee popping out to second base. So Marcus Lee with a line out to the pitcher, Jake Lee with a pop out to second base, and now Max Greenberg represents Fort Lee's last hope. 1 for 2 with an RBI, and he takes low. Max Greenberg went 5 1/3 innings. He ended up officially giving up 3 runs, all earned, and he will take the loss if Fort Lee doesn't come back here. He lines this one to left, and that'll do it. Fort Lee takes a 1-0 lead and then gives up 5 runs in the 6th inning to Paramus Catholic, and the PC Paladins hold on for a 6-1 victory. They snap their 3-game losing streak and improve to 5-6 on the season. Fort Lee's 5-game winning streak is no more. The Bridgemen fall to 6-4 on the season, but they will have an opportunity to get right back after it tomorrow morning when they take on Ridgefield right here at the Sugarman Sport Complex at 11 o'clock. So Fort Lee will look to improve on their now 3-1 home record and start a new winning streak. I want to thank our proud sponsors, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, the Finest Construction Home Improvement Specialists, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, Fort Lee Soccer Club, and Sedona Tap House. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you even more for listening, and do tune in tomorrow. Again, it'll be an 11 o'clock start time between Fort Lee and Ridgefield. For now, I am Tommy Aquilina saying thank you so much for joining us. Again, the final score, Paramus Catholic 6, Fort Lee 1, and we will see you here again tomorrow morning. Have a good night, everybody.